Hello YouTube, this is the MaKaElectric Rebuttal channel, back after a very long absence. You may understand why I've decided to return, if at least one more time. There'll probably be others, but because the times we live in, and that has caused MaKaElectric to, after having gone away to a certain degree, to come back. MaKaElectric, some time ago, kind of skedaddled. Maybe 18 months ago, maybe a little bit more. YouTube was not fulfilling whatever needs he has to communicate with the outside world. So he skedaddled to a few other platforms, but wound up on Twitch with all the idiots who sit there playing games. And it's pretty much the same format. His little tiny image up there on the right side of the screen, left side, really offering not much content other than running CNN, MSNBC feeds, Fox News, and an occasional comment from here and there, saying hi to his buddies as they check in. Okay, that's fine. If it fulfills a need for him, that's fine. So on April 12th, he posted a video about the current pandemic situation, offering his great thoughts. Here's a little bit of audio from that.
Because I'm out at the store yesterday and I'm looking around. You know, it's one thing to be precautious if there's a virus going around. It is another thing what is going on right now. People doing exactly as they're told. People walking around like good little slaves. I want you to take a long...
Oh my frickin' God. Here's someone who has no clue whatsoever of reality, who is so steeped in trying to get his, quote, message across that the truth just gets in the goddamn way, you know? I would love for MaKaElectric to be in a room for 10 minutes with Andrew Cuomo, Dr. Birx, Dr. Fauci for a discussion. They would rip him a new one in less than 10 minutes. You know, you don't want to deal with the facts. You don't want to deal with data. People, this is science. When a virus mutates, all a virus wants to do is survive. And obviously, MaKa has done no reading on what viruses are, how they came to be, how they have just one goal in mind. They're structured to survive. Now you could say, well, how is that the case when so often they end up killing their host? A virus is designed to be spread. Millions of years of evolution have programmed viruses to take advantage of certain situations. They take advantage of the air, water droplets that we spew out, not just only from sneezing or coughing, but just talking. There was a report the other day that people who jog expel more water vapor through their mouth and nose than people who walk. So they suggested you even stay further away from people if you're jogging. And this virus, you've probably seen pictures or depictions of what it looks like. It has those protrusions all around. In this virus, those are specifically designed to mate with, to hook onto human lung tissue. Obviously, viruses don't have brains. They're not thinking things, but they are living things. So the ability and need to reproduce is what they're programmed for. So in essence, it doesn't matter if the viruses that are in a certain body die with that body once it's dead. It already has gone out and spread itself. So yeah, the American people are being asked to do something smart, to do something with the idea of society in mind. Any of you who have followed MaKaElectric knows that more than a decade ago, maybe 12, 13, 14 years ago, he withdrew himself from society. MaKaElectric is no longer, it hasn't been for quite some time, a contributing member of society. He's pretty much been quarantined now for over a decade. In his room with his cat, getting online. That's how he socializes. So being locked up in your house or your room isn't really that big a deal to him. So he can sit there and say things that a lot of us would not even think about saying. If you notice, if you watch his Jericho reports, which I highly suggest, I highly recommend, as he goes through these pandemic-related news stories and does a brief half-sentence or one-sentence comment on them, look in his eyes. Look at his face. Absolute glee. The more suffering, the happier he gets. Because in his mind, a decade plus of sitting there saying how he believes the world should be, he sees this as justifying all of that. Well, that is yet to be seen. I suspect we're going to get through this and people will go back to work. Not make a work. Come on. Here's another audio excerpt.
Raw Story puts this out. Trump rambles about genius coronavirus during a long-winded briefing. The germ has gotten so brilliant. Oh, the germs, they're going to kill us all.
Okay, I'm not going to go through it again. I told you how viruses adapt and they learn. MaKaElectric made it very public a few years ago that his mother had a very bad heart condition and had surgery, which I understand she got through. But by definition, MaKa's mother, having a pre-existing health condition, is more susceptible to this virus. And yet he sits there and makes fun of people who take this seriously.
Something must be done. The germs are brilliant.
Well, the germs sort of are brilliant. They've been around longer than us. They know how to evolve. That brings me to one other YouTuber that I followed for entertainment. You can't pay for this kind of entertainment, but this is free. Good old Irv Helton, better known as John Paul Von Helton. The hillbilly from Kentucky, who I notice Von Helton's life and MaKaElectric's life have become very parallel. Very parallel. Both living a very simple life, eking out an existence, unemployed, depending on the public dole to get by. No desire or ability to serve society in any way, shape, or form. Money's an issue. Don't own their own place they live in. Problems with children, custody. So von Helton got together with a couple other geniuses and talked about the virus. And again, this is the same herd mentality that MaKaE complains about the rest of society being. We're all sheep. We all put masks on when we go into the store. I wonder if MaKaE had a mask on when he went into the store, or a bandana on his face. But this is the same kind of mentality that causes these people to talk like this, the same mentality that MaKaE has.
Russia, 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 Russia.
Well, here's the thing, and I just caught this on the news here just the other day. India kicked Bill Gates's vaccines for all group. They kicked them out of the country.
Oh, good.
And that's, yeah, they did. Serious, look it up. India kicked him out of the country.
I agree with
Don't you come? Hey, listen. A bunch of Indianese babies died, dude, from them vaccines, and India got mad.
Well, they're going to be knocking on your door soon, Vaughn.
Hey,
Well, first of all, what is Indianese? I don't know what that is. And of course, let's make fun of vaccines. Let's not do it. If MaKaElectric's mother was told by a doctor saying, you know, when this vaccine comes out, you really should do it to protect your own health, would she do it? Would MaKaElectric tell her, no, you should not do that, and do all he can to keep her from doing that? So MaKaE will continue to enlighten us with his superior knowledge of viruses and virology, while he does what he's done for over a decade. Every day he shelters in place. That's what he has done. That's been his life since about 2008. And yet, MaKaE will sit there and expect his $1,200 stimulus check to come in. And as a taxpayer who furnished part of that $1,200 that will be coming to MaKaElectric, I'll just say, you're welcome. You're welcome. Just don't spend all that money on frozen pizza and kitty litter.